this just might be ruining your whole grip on a semi-automatic pistol, and it's one of the last things we think about. So let me kind of walk you through what I found when I was training with Scott over at Modern Samurai Project here just last weekend at an instructor course. As a lot of you guys know, throughout my own personal shooting and my career training my students, I found that what is often classified as trigger control errors are really nothing more than grip issues, okay? What we think of as bad trigger control leading to poor shots on target oftentimes is some combination of either the support hand not exerting enough steadying influence on the gun, not being hard enough, not being grip tight enough, not being high enough, or it could be the firing hand gripping itself altogether. So not necessarily something that your trigger finger is magically doing, but more some kind of issue with grip where if the grip was doing what it should have been doing, wouldn't have been an issue. You can see our past videos on how to slap the trigger and all that kind of stuff where we did our basically how to pull the trigger badly and still be accurate series. It was a joke title meant to drive across a point. But that's not exactly what we're talking about today. We're talking about a root cause, right? So if the problem is my grip's not perfect, Scott actually pointed out at this class something that a number of these instructor level shooters were falling victim to that was ruining their grips on the gun and giving them all these downstream problems when in reality they needed to fix something super tiny way back upstream. Boom, started shooting just fine because fixing this issue then meant they were no longer ruining their own grips on the gun, and lo and behold, accuracy abounded. Abounds, not sure. But at the end of the day, what I want you guys to focus on is your firing hand thumb, right? So we all know when we go to build a grip, we get high and tight, we get that shooting hand, that firing hand thumb up and out of the way. We're gonna open up all that real estate, bring our support hand up and under, nice and high and tight, right? There's more to it than that, but that's the basics. But what do we do with this firing hand thumb? For some people, not much. Like for me, I end up just draping it off to the side. That's got to do with hand size, gun size, all sorts of good stuff. That's what I've built for me. It essentially just drapes over to the side, doesn't really do a whole lot of anything. But for a lot of people who were growing up shooting, being taught that pretty stack the thumb grip, I wasn't even trying to do it, but I already started doing it to myself. Essentially, this firing hand thumb, what Scott was pointing out over and over and over again, was people were pushing that firing hand thumb down. And what does that do? Well, it does a couple things. One, it literally pushes my support hand further down on the gun. And as the gun goes off and off and off and off, you'll notice that your firing hand starts pushing your support hand down lower and lower on the gun, which, as we all know, is not very good. But what it also does is when I exert that press down force, I open up this little pocket on the back of the pistol where my two hands are supposed to meet together and create a nice 360-degree wrap around the grip. As I push down, I also open up this little pocket here, which all in all just degrades the integrity of my grip as a whole, in particular my support hand grip. So if you find that after you shoot a string or 4 or 5 shots, that your support hand is all of a sudden way down low on the gun, or you notice that you're having kind of an uncommon amount of what you're considering trigger control errors, it could just be that your support hand grip isn't what it should be. And upstream from that, it could be that that grip is being ruined by your firing hand thumb. So the next time you go out and shoot, when you go to set up your grip, just remember, should not feel pressure coming down from that firing hand thumb. Try it out, see if it doesn't help your grip, and hope you guys are gearing up for really happy holidays. Merry Christmas from everybody here at CFI. If you don't hear from me again until then, and I will see you guys out on the range soon.